All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the HighLevel Release Radar, where we recap the week's releases. Still in vacation mode, Ryan, and I feel like it was a lighter week as we've got a lot of the developers are on a retreat as well, but we still have some juicy updates to cover.
Yeah,
Happy
a lot
Friday.
of great ones this week. A little bit lighter, but high quality.
Yes, I am coming to you from my parents' house, one of my old bedrooms, actually. A lot of memories. Let's flip us live over here. Let me make sure we share us into the group. Oh, I forgot to update the name of today's stream. I wonder if
Yeah.
this will fix it or how this is going to work here. The HighLevel Release Radar. And as always, please say hello and let us know from where you are tuning in. Let me refresh this, share us into the community, and then we can hop into
Amazing.
the releases. Yeah, shoot, I shared it with the wrong name, but that's all right. We'll fix it later. Groups, official community.
The perils of live production.
Yeah.
Where you are the producer and the talent.
Yes. Join us for this week's HighLevel Release Radar. All right. Let me hit go here, post. And we should be live in all of the places. So, as always, let's open up the chat here so we can see the messages as they come in. Hope everybody's having a great week. Let's hop into the releases, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. Let me share my screen here. Okay. Release number 1. Email. You can now do UTM parameters in email campaigns. I forget why this one came up. Can you walk us through the context of this one, Ryan?
Yeah, so the idea here is that for a particular campaign, you want to be able to do UTM tracking for different links. And so this will put it into the links for all the tracking so that maybe you're on like in Google Analytics and you've got a dashboard set up that's tracking certain UTM parameters. Now you can kind of standardize what that looks like. And it's got all the typical variables. Plus you can add your own UTMs if you're super fancy like that and want to really break things down. So this just adds to the way that you can track click links within email. So you can rely on, third-party systems or what have you to see where people are coming in from.
Now I remember this release. So this is like the easy button for UTM parameters. You don't have to build it out yourself. It's got like this just easy builder for you here, which makes it convenient and way easier to do.
Yeah.
So that one's pretty nice, actually.
Yeah,
Next,
really nice one.
this one. So this one's awesome. This is one that personally we've been waiting for a long time. You can now, before you could share email templates within an agency account, sub-accounts, now you can share email templates across agency accounts, which I think really opens up a lot of doors, especially for us, because we're going to start sharing email templates with all of our affiliates that they can then use and have all the information ready to go and just blast out to their communities. So I'm really excited about this one, Ryan. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, this is really, really big. And I like the detail here that you can select who can get it. So it's not just a blanket link for anybody. And then you can also remove sharing too. If, you want to make sure that the wrong email template doesn't go out, you can remove that sharing as well. And people won't be able to propagate it, moving forward. So really nice implementation here.
Yep. Big update. We're going to be using it quite frequently ourselves. This one is like, whoa, how does this even work? So now you can choose to, in your email campaigns, turn on this magical feature that basically disregards bot traffic. Ryan, do you want to give us a little context about email bot traffic and what people don't probably realize?
Yeah, I guess what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of the stats that we've seen, and I think this is fairly much, fairly an industry-wide problem, is that there are a lot of bots, like computer networks, that are like clicking on links and opening emails that aren't real people, and so it can kind of skew the data, which is why we give you control of whether you can turn this on or off. But then also it can, if you have automation set up, now you're putting bots through an automation where maybe you're paying for SMS or follow-up, and it's really kind of clouding like the real people that you're trying to get in touch with. So
Yeah.
that's my understanding anyway, in terms of the challenges that a lot of our agencies and customers have been facing.
Yeah, and I mean, bot networks kind of sounds vague, but I mean, Apple, right? I think they talked a lot about this. They basically open every email that gets sent
Yep.
to an Apple address so that they can determine things about it. And so, and again, not just us, but most email platforms are going to count that as a click and an open and a click if they click the links to see where they go
Hmm.
and all that kind of stuff, which really muddies your reporting, um, overinflates a lot of things. Now, this will be interesting to see what marketers and high levelers do with this, right? Because again, this is opt in. You can turn it on if you want, and you're going to get much truer data. But the
Hmm.
reality is the numbers are going to go down, right? Because it's going to discount all of that bot opening activity that happens. And so the choice is yours. But if you want to get closer to the absolute truth of what's happening, you can toggle this on now in settings.
Yeah.
Um, so great feature. Excited to see people what people do with it. But it's pretty cool that it's there now.
Hmm.
Um, this one's cool. So email builder got an update where you can now do direct checkout for product elements right within the email builder.
Yeah. So if you didn't know, if you've got an e-com store, there's this products element you can put into an email campaign. And what's neat about it is you can just choose to highlight certain products. So, hey, we're doing a fresh drop this week. That was the example that we're using here. But now you also have the ability to toggle on this thing that's called direct checkout. So it's kind of like on Amazon where you get a search result of something and you just say buy now, and it just takes you to the basic details to check out. And you don't have to like go to the cart and then go through all these different steps. Now you can enable that for the products that are on this list. So if they see something they really like, remove all the friction of like going to the store, adding it to the cart, then going to checkout, then putting in your information. It shortens that journey a lot, and can lead to more sales. Obviously, that's why Amazon and other companies do it as well.
Absolutely. Removing friction obviously leads to more sales, and we're just seeing that in the numbers. I don't know if you saw that chart in the product channel the other day, but the amount of revenue that's being generated through high level links is just skyrocketing. It's
Yeah.
incredible, and I think it's just a reflection of all the hard work this team is doing to just go deeper and deeper with all of these product related features, checkout related features. And this is another great example of, hey, where else can we remove friction? So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, create a product, go ahead into the email builder, and play with that new element in there and the new direct checkout option. Great job. Ecom, speaking of ecom, we have another update where now packing slips are being generated and you can quickly print those out.
Yeah. So I didn't have a great example here, but this is just a demo order. And then at the top right there, you'll see that there's a button to generate a packing slip. And you can then do that. And then on the next screen, it generates a PDF. This is an example what the PDF is. And it'll keep track of things like if it's not in inventory and so forth, and what's included in the shipment. And you can throw that right in there. So making fulfillment, if you're doing that yourself, a lot easier for double checking what's in the box, making sure everything's good to go, and you're off to the races.
Yeah, love it. Looks great.
Yeah.
Next up, workflows got an update. We've got this new Shopify integration health check. This is pretty cool. So walk us through what
Yeah.
we're looking at here.
So the problem before, and this is kind of related to workflows because Shopify works well with it, but it's really more of like an integration feature. So there were issues where there's all these different things that we have to do to talk to Shopify and things, the scope and webhooks and all kinds of fancy stuff on the back end. And so what was happening is in some instances Shopify was needing that to be reset, but the customers weren't aware of it, and so things are firing off in workflows, but it's not really doing what it's supposed to do, and there's a problem. Now we have a health check where we can obviously have a list here of all the different things that are involved, so that we can troubleshoot things a lot easier if and when they have issues with the Shopify integration.
Yeah.
Just giving you a lot more visibility into what's happening, how the systems are talking to one another, and if there's a problem, how to resolve it.
Yeah, this is another great example, I think, of the team looking at sort of where tickets are coming in and saying, what could we build to fix this? And I think what was happening was the integration itself wasn't breaking, but components of it were. And
Hmm.
so on the front end, you're like, what's going on? Shopify is integrated, it's set up, but yet things aren't working. And now you can actually see all the pieces of the integration and run a health check to see if you need to refresh or not. Do
Yep.
you also have a slide for the Facebook one that's sort of similar? Or
I don't.
okay, so there's also one if you go to the Facebook integration that is sort of similar. So Facebook recently, Meta has been having issues where sometime for whatever reason, not all leads are automatically being sent through their API. And so there's a button there to sort of manually go and check to see if any leads should have come through that didn't, and it will go and get them and pull them through. So again, it's the team sort of saying, how do we help our integrated partners do a better job without our customers having to open up tickets? And so you can go and sort of check up on those integrations yourself. So pretty helpful on both fronts.
Yep.
Okay, I barely saw this one, so you're gonna have to walk me through it too. So workflows, we got an update here where we can log external calls to CRM action. So this is bringing in outside systems, right? Outside of
Yeah.
calling and pulling it into workflows.
So you notice there in the because it's going through the animation, there'd be a webhook trigger. So if you don't know what webhook is, don't worry about this. But if you're doing a webflow trigger for some outside call system, you can essentially bring that into HighLevel as a trigger, and then set conditions around it, and then log the call. So that when you go into the conversations view, which is in the next screen, it will just show up as if it was a native call right within HighLevel. So
Mm.
this gives you the functionality of having native, LC phone integration without having to, if there's already some big system set up, you can just pull it right in and do it in workflows.
This is awesome. So
Yeah.
you in the past with webhooks, we've had webhooks for a long time now. You could use a separate system and then sort of action off of, hey, a call came in, I want to do something. But now we're basically pulling the record of that call into the system, storing it, logging it as if it were a natural call in the system. So that's pretty
Exactly.
robust. I think a lot of folks in the integrative community will be pretty happy about that one.
Hmm.
BlogBuilder got some updates here. We have the addition of custom code element, SVG element, and map elements now available in the BlogBuilder.
Yeah. So this is just bringing parity to the web builder that you've seen within funnels and websites. When you go to edit your blog site, you now have these elements as well.
Love it.
Yeah.
Payments. Oh, this is cool. Order forms in e-com stores now have buy now, pay later through PayPal as an option.
Yeah. I think this one's actually pretty big. I forget, I've not looked at PayPal's market penetration recently, but it's pretty big. And so this now just gives that buy now, pay later functionality that a lot of people are used to using through PayPal, builds a lot of trust. And it just walks them through the standard, as you can see here on the right, the standard kind of flow for how the PayPal system works. So really, really nice to bring that in. Again, it's mostly about building trust. Like, hey, this is a legitimate store. You can do the financing through a third party that's easily recognized and widely used. Oh, I think you're muted.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, had a screaming kid in the background. Threw it on mute. I think a lot of people are excited about this one.
Hmm.
All the folks using PayPal, we've seen a lot of requests for that. So now it's live.
Yeah.
Another big one for the integrators, you can now build apps that have a free trial within the system, toggle that on, which I think is a great for adoption of the folks that are building apps that want to get people into them without having to commit up front.
Oh yeah, and I mean, just think about, you're looking at all these different apps that are a part of the store, and some of them might totally be worth spending the money on, but you don't really know if it's going to work for you. I think this is, I don't even know if the Apple App Store doesn't even have this feature, so we are on the cutting edge as far as I know. Oh no, I guess they do for some things, but generally not for like the buy the app thing, more like a
Totally.
service based stuff.
No, the integrators marketplace is really getting robust, and I'm
Hmm.
so excited to see more and more integrations being built. And we're just the team's trying to give them more and more robust options to do that. And so, this will just continue to increase adoption. If you haven't checked out all the apps that have been built, definitely go to marketplace.gohighlevel.com, and you can see, I think it's in the thousands now, of add-on applications that have been built to be native inside of HighLevel that you can, some are free, some are paid, but yeah, go check them out.
Mm-hmm.
Community's got an update. We now have new payment methods and weekly subscription options.
Yeah. So the new payment methods are these debit networks, Band Contact, and Ideal. So if you're in places like the European Union where those are frequently used, that those networks are now available, which is sweet. And then if you do weekly subscriptions, that support is now there for communities.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a trend, but apparently it is, and now you can do it in HighLevel communities.
Yeah.
Some other enhancements here. Nice.
Going with the
love it.
Olympic theme here. We've got conversation AI. We've got additional language support for Hindi, and there's one other one that I probably can't pronounce. There's a whole bunch of like fancy stuff behind the scenes that is going to make that work better, but more internationalization, more language support. We're updating the help docs with like a full list of the languages that are supported, but it's growing by the day or week, I should say. And then we also have, if you're an integrator and you do a lot of development work, we've got new conversations reporting API. So that's going to let you do things like pull in the last time a contact was sent an email, last time an email was delivered to the contacts inbox, things of that nature. So you can build reports. So this would be for the developers that are building third-party things.
I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this guy's skill over here.
Yeah.
That's no joke.
He might be going to the next one. We don't know.
I think he's on his way. All right, so now it's time for my favorite part of the show, where we get to talk about what we're most excited to see rolling out in the near future. Again, Ryan, A+ for being timely with the Olympics here. We've got some high-flying upcoming releases.
Yeah.
This is another week where I don't know what Ryan has picked for us. So
could be anything.
Coming soon, conditional logic in email campaigns. Oh,
So this is really,
hearing of this. What do we got?
I sniped this one from a town hall. So if you haven't been on the town halls, that's where all the fun stuff is. But anyway, this is really cool because it essentially says that, like, based on the customers, based on conditions for that particular contact, I should say, then a different custom value can be swapped in. So it's saying that if they're this, then use this custom value. So it could be good for addressing like locations or different, relative details about a particular contact. So you can personalize the emails in an automated way, without having to build out separate, like, oh, I want to send, something to everybody in California and then also Texas. You can make it relevant to them based on information we already have about them in the system.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So this is sort of one of these moves where we're sort of making it easier, where instead of having to go build a workflow and know how to do all that, you could do more advanced sort of stuff right from within email campaigns.
Yeah, exactly.
So it says, for example, if you want to display a special discount code only to contacts who live in the United States, you would, and then it walks you through what you would do down there.
Yeah.
Conditional sending. Enable Smart Send to customize your email content based on the values in the custom fields of your contacts. Very cool. Yeah. Interesting. Well, I'm excited to play with that one. We've got a video here for our next one, Social Planner Refresh.
Yeah. So Pooja went through this again on another town hall. And this is just kind of, I did two separate ones where she was showing off some of the new UI. This is in an account right now, so it's coming pretty soon. But really nice refresh to how the entire UX and UI works with the social planner. You're going to have the ability to sort based on a really nice calendar view here with all the posts for that day, kind of scroll worthy.
Wow.
And then you can click on any of the details within a list and get a slide out of the exact post, where it's getting posted. And then the other thing that I know has been really annoying for some people is that there's different requirements for different social networks. So like, well, maybe one of them wants one resolution and the other one wants another. So they're also going to be handling that automatically as well, which I'm looking forward to a lot. So, and then, yeah, this is that little flyout thing where it's showing details about each particular post, live preview of the videos. I mean, this is getting to the bicycle stage for sure.
This looks really beautiful. Yeah. Um, super excited for all of the, oh yeah, cool. You can toggle between the networks right there. That's awesome. Absolutely. The social planner is getting so robust. And again, hopefully you know that you can schedule social media across all the major networks inside of HighLevel in the social planner. This is just one of those sort of no-brainer SaaS opportunities where if you know your clients are using some software to schedule their content, you can be that software, right? You can be the provider of that software and let them do the actual service themselves, and you're just charging for access to the platform. It's really robust. You can schedule content to repeat, and it's just going to get better and better. We're going to have a couple of big updates roll out for that between now and the end of the year. And this new UI revamp looks really great. I'm excited to see that roll out. And again, like you said, if it's here live in a account, you could expect it to hit your account in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, another great week of updates. And again, it was a little bit of a lighter week as some of the dev team get together. And, it's always nice for them to meet up and have a great time and do some team building stuff. So I would expect we'll see an inflated release radar in this coming week or the week after.
Yeah.
But
glad they're able to rest up. They've been working hard. So
absolutely,
they're having a great time.
They deserve it. Let's let them know they deserve it in the comments. And as always, let us know what was your favorite release of the week. And hope you have a great week until next Friday when we will see you again.